infinity text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 2 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 3 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 4 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 5 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 6 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 7 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 5 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 10 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 11 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 12 text too small. Negative infinite affinity times 20 text too small.
Infinitesimal. Infinity minus 1 text too small. Infinity minus 2 text too small. Infinity minus 5 text too small. Infinity sub infinity group absolute D-E-N-I-P-H-D-R-U small.
Infinite affinity S dot P dot B dot E dot M dot I cubes text too small. Infinite affinity S dot P dot U dot M dot J cubes text small. Infinite affinity S dot P dot U dot M dot J dot T cubes text small. Infinite affinity S dot P dot U dot M cubes text small. Infinite affinity super duper cubes text small. Infinite affinity super cubes text small. Infinite affinity double cubes text small. Infinite affinity small. Infinite affinity square texts infinite affinity times master affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times graph affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute subdet of fusion text too small. Infinite affinity times never text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute hallway affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times goals affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times absolute
Infinite affinity times D dot G dot S dot G number text too small. Infinite affinity times D dot G dot G number text too small.
Infinite affinity times 2 dot affinity text too small. Small infinite affinity times super dot affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times dot affinity text too small.
Infinite affinity times more affinity S B U U S O S infinite affinity times more affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times affinity text too small. Infinite affinity times infinite text.
Infinite affinity times affinity text too small. Infinite Infinitefinity times megafinity text. Infinitefinity times superfinity cube text to small. Infinitefinity times superfinity store text to small. Infinitefinity times superfinity tofinity text to small. Infinitefinity times superfinity absolute never text to small. Infinitefinity times superfinity text to small. Infinitefinity times tofinity text to
Infinitefinity times absolute never 10 text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute never 7 text too small.
small.
Infinitefinity times absolute never 6 text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute 5 text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute never 4 text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute never 3 text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute never 2 text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute never text too small. Infinitefinity times capital var cube text too small. Infinitefinity times capital var text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute every number text too small. Infinitefinity times 1 infinity x text too small. Infinitefinity times 6x power 6x text too small. Infinitefinity times 5x power 5x text too small. Infinitefinity times 4x power 4x plus 4x text too small. Infinitefinity times 4x power 4x plus 3x text too small. Infinitefinity times 4x power 4x plus 2x text too small. Infinitefinity times 4x power 4x plus 1x text too small. Infinitefinity times 4x power 4x text too small. Infinitefinity times 3x power 3x plus 4x text too small. Infinitefinity times 3x power 3x plus 3x text too small. Infinitefinity times 3x power 3x plus 2x text too small. Infinitefinity times 3x power 3x plus 1x text too small. Infinitefinity times 3x power 3x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x plus 6x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x plus 5x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x plus 4x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x plus 3x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x plus 2x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x plus 1x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x power 2x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x plus 9x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 8x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 7x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 6x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 5x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 4x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 3x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 2x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x plus 1x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x power 1x text too small. Infinitefinity times 9x text too small. Infinitefinity times 8x text too small. Infinitefinity times 7x text too small. Infinitefinity times 6x text too small. Infinitefinity times 5x text too small. Infinitefinity times 4x text too small. Infinitefinity times 3x text too small. Infinitefinity times 2x text too small. Infinitefinity times 1x text too small. Infinitefinity times nx is the original text too small. Infinitefinity times absolutely super everything text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute everything text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute wings infinity text too small. Infinitefinity times absolute infinity. Infinitefinity times epsilon null text too small. Infinitefinity times omega text too small. D text small. Infinitefinity times infinity text.
infinity times 1 quadrillion text too small. Infinity times 9 trillion text too small. Infinity times 8 trillion text too small. Infinity times 7 trillion text too small. Infinity times 6 trillion text too small. Infinity times 5 trillion text too small. Infinity times 4 trillion text too small. Infinity times 2 trillion text too small. Infinity times 1 trillion text too small. Infinity times 100 billion text too small. Infinity times 10 billion text too small.
Infinitefinity times 1 billion text too small. Infinitefinity times 100 million text too small. Infinitefinity times 10 million text too small.
Infinity times 6 billion text too small. Infinity times 5 billion text too small.
Infinity times 4 billion text too small.
Infinity times 3 billion text too small.
Infinitefinity times 2 million text too small.
Infinity times 1 billion text too small.
Infinitefinity times 100,000 text too small. Infinitefinity times 10,000 text too small.
Infinity times 4,000 text too small.
Infinitefinity times 3,000 text too small.
Infinity times 2,000 text too small.
Infinitefinity times 1,000 text too small.
Infinitefinity times 999 text too small.
Infinity times 200 text too small.
Infinitefinity times 100 text too small. Infinitefinity times 30 text too small. Infinitefinity times 20 text small. Infinitefinity times 12 text too small. Infinitefinity times 11 text too small. Infinitefinity times 10 text too small.
Infinity times 9 text too small. Infinity times 8 text too small. Infinity times 7 text too small. Infinity times 6 text too small.
Infinitefinity times 5 text too small. Infinitefinity times 4 text too small. Infinitefinity times 3 text too small. Infinitefinity times 2 text too small. Infinitefinity times 1 text too small. Infinitefinity plus 1 trillion text too small. Infinitefinity plus 1 billion text too small. Infinitefinity plus 1 million text too small. Infinitefinity plus 100,000 text too small. Infinitefinity plus 10,000 text too small. Infinitefinity plus 1,000 text too small. Infinitefinity plus 100 text too small. Infinitefinity plus 10 text small. Infinitefinity plus 1 text too. Infinitefinity text too small. Infinitefinity small.
Infinity times 0.5 text small.
Infinitefinity minus 2 text small.
Infinity minus 5 text too small. Infinity minus 10 text too small. Infinity minus 100 text too small. Infinity minus 1,000 text too small. Infinity minus 10,000 text too small. Infinity minus 100,000 text too small. Infinity minus 1 million text too small. Infinity minus 10 million text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 10 billion text too small. Infinity minus 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity billion text too small. Infinity times 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 10 billion text too small. Infinity minus 100 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 6 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 7 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity minus 1 billion text too small. Infinity times 1 decillion text too small. Infinity minus 10 decillion text too small. Infinity minus 100 decillion text too small. Infinity minus 500 decillion text too small. Infinity minus 1 decillion text too small. Infinity